So Eric, I've been waiting. You've outdone yourself already.
I've been waiting.
You've outdone yourself already, but everybody I've seen in the Riverland is talking up your fortified.
Right.
So we've got to get into it. We've got to get into it. Tell us the story about the fortified.
It's something we have a passion for, and I've always personally had a passion for fortifieds. Fortifieds there are many different styles, and just like table wines, they are delightful wines to enjoy. And we are blessed in the Riverland in that this is a good climate to grow the varieties that make these blends. So we do a white port, a ruby, a tawny, which we are tasting
Sampling
today.
now, yeah.
Yep. And we also have topake, which is Australian Tokay, and also Musket. These wines are hidden gems, I guess, in some respects. They are full of flavour, full of complexity. They are suited to food. We're going to enjoy the tawny with a little cheese platter that Jenny has prepared. And our tawny is a classic style. Now, classic means that it has an average age of between 5 and 10 years.
Yeah.
If you see a grand fortified, it means the average age of that blend is between 10 and 15. If you see a rare fortified, it's 15 years or older, the blend age.
Right.
So this is about 8 years old, so we've got some of those nice, nutty, spicy, sort of honeyed characters developing, along with red fruit, freshness of brandy spirit that is selected for these components. This style is blended from about 6 different varieties of various years, and that's a part of the winemaking process I really enjoy, because you line up all of the components on the bench, and you have to put a selection of those components together a bit like an orchestral event, so that you get a really good blend at the end of that blending
orchestral
sequence.
event.
Yeah, well, the sum of them doesn't equal.
I just loved it. I just loved it. It's a great way of describing it.
It should be like a number of instruments playing together, so you end up with a lovely balanced style at the end.
I can smell
and
brandy.
this is a style that's really well suited to fruit and cheese platters, or having a drink at the end of the night before you retire.
What about with a strong Turkish coffee?
Strong Turkish coffee goes well with chocolate. Chocolate is health food because it comes off a tree, so it must be good for you.
It must be good. So the wine's definitely good for you then?
Yeah, absolutely.
It has to be. It comes off a vine.
It's prescribed.
Yes. Oh, wow.
I must say, and you can edit this out if you like, but
As soon as you say that, we don't.
a few years ago, I had shingles back in 2015, which is a terrible disease. Never get it. No, it's all gone now. You're safe.
Right.
And when I went into my GP to be diagnosed, I said, "Can I still enjoy some alcohol?" And Dr. Pennis said, "Alcohol is prescribed."
Oh,
They were his exact words.
what a great GP.
Yeah, but he's retired now, so I can't get sick anymore.
Oh, wow. Well, you've got your prescription. You should be fine.
But,
So Holly?
So it's just a wonderful wine, which is made from various varieties, port varieties. And then the blending brings all of those varieties and ages together into something that's very drinkable.
Oh, yeah. This is absolutely delicious.
The beauty, Nathan, is that younger people are discovering these styles as well and enjoying them. They're not just old people's drinks.
No.
People shouldn't think that. Fortifieds are just as suited to having a dinner party as what red wines or white wines or sparkling wines are. So we've had dinner parties where every course is matched with a fortified, and they are really good dinner parties.
No doubt.
Particularly by the end of the night.
Yeah, especially with this fortified. So you touched on, you may, obviously this is your tawny, but you make other fortifieds as well.
It's
White
something.
fortifieds intrigue me.
White.
Yeah.
Okay, so we make a white port, which is called Lambada. We're not allowed to use the term port on our labelling anymore because of the EU trade agreement. But we have our Lambada style, which is basically made from Palomino and Muscadel grapes. Muscadel is the little white grape we use to make topake. which used to be called Tokay in Australia. That's a
Right.
new term for Tokay. So the white port or lambada is a lovely caramelised, slightly peachy style. And a lot of people, young people actually that like a sweet wine. We don't have sweet table wines, but if they like a sweet wine, they'll take a lambada home because it's
Okay.
got that sweetness, but it finishes dry. The ruby is just a fresh berry-driven style made from Shiraz.
Yeah.
Very young, no aging whatsoever. Our tawny, of course, the components get put into old barrels. Some of our barrels are 80 and 90 years old, and the colour tawny's off to this lovely tawny colour, and then it's blended up out of these different barrel groups. We make a topake, which is Australian Tokay, so that has lovely butterscotch, toffee, malt aromas, also with fig and honey and date characters. And then we have our musket. Now, some years ago, I went to a lot of trouble to get 2 live musket cuttings across from Rutherglen brown musket, because that makes the best musket in Australia. And bringing it into South Australia, we had to go through quarantine procedures, which took 2 years.
2 years.
To make sure there was no phylloxera
Yeah.
or disease in those vines to bring into South Australia. And from that, we've got 1.5 acres planted up now that we make our musket style from. Our musket style is traditionally sweet, very musket, rose and floral driven, but with real deep Christmas cake characters. So that's a style that people also really enjoy.
Awesome. It's been such an education.
Oh, well, we're just really fortunate in that we can produce so many different styles in this region. So we're going to have whites, reds, sparkling, fortified. If we're in Tasmania, we may just be limited to Cabernet, Chardonnay and Pinot. But again, they make beautiful styles out of those varieties down there too. But the Riverland has flexibility, and as we said right at the start, there's a lot of these newer varieties being trialled and being brought through commercially too now for consumers to enjoy.
And what we're gonna pair with it? What is Jenny organised?
I believe Jenny has a little cheese platter, cheese
Master
and
Chef
dried
Jenny.
fruit platter organised for us.
Awesome.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I've also got a free recipe book for your viewers.
Oh, a free recipe book.
Yes, yeah, well, that could be enticing.
That could be. Well, after what we've been sampling, I'm pretty sure that you...
So this is local dried fruit
Yeah.
from Singing Magpie, Almond Co. almonds.
Yeah.
So these are 2 really big industries in the Riverland. The cheese, I'm afraid, is not from here because we don't have.
Well, there's no dairy.
industry.
Yeah, we learned
Exactly.
that earlier.
Yeah.
There's no dairy around,
right.
so...
So what's the fruit, Jenny?
So we've got Smyrna figs, quince, sun. What is it? There's a peach and an apricot, and you've got a pear. So
Okay,
Wow.
beautiful.
Awesome little spread.
Enjoy.
All right, let's have a little crack. I'm going to go straight for some
The
cheese.
cheese is one of our favourite cheeses.
Yeah.
It's Merseyvale from Tasmania. Cheddar.
The deafening silence means that we're both very intrigued for the taste we're going to get here. Oh, absolutely perfect. Very spoilt with the produce you've got around here.
We are. South Australian regions, I think in general, many of them have beautiful produce. You know, you've got the seafood from Port Lincoln, and you've got lamb and beef from down south in the southeast, Mount Gambier.
Yeah.
We've got a whole range of particularly fruit type products from the Riverland and wine. And Clare's good for Riesling.
Yes.
Some of our favourite Rieslings come out of Clare.
Yes. Clare. Well, I haven't been to the Clare Valley yet. Well, it's on our to-do list.
Yeah.
As, after we've been to the Coonawarra, and then via the Barossa.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, you never know, we might even, once COVID's finished, we might even branch out and go and visit. We might have to change our logo, but we might go visit the Victorians.
No, leave the logo the same.
Yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, and show them some good, South Australian culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
But, no, the Clare's a beautiful area too. Great for food and wine.
Yeah.
A very agricultural region as well. Jenny and I spent some time over there just to have a bit of time out. I think that was back in July, 3 nights across there. And we had a really interesting time. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, just love going to some of Mr. Mix and the Auburn, the Rising Sun Hotel at Auburn has good food. And,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Some cracking wineries out there too.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So, what'd you think of the cheese with the Tawny?
Oh, I thought it was an unbelievable. Jenny's just outdone herself, hasn't she, with
Yes.
the pairings?
We're spoiled.
Yeah, we are very, very.
It'll be hard to
spoiled.
have Macca's again.
Oh, we don't need to.
And it's so simple as well.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, but the quality of the fruit as well, and obviously the quality of the Tawny, just went absolutely perfectly with the cheese, and probably some of the best almonds you could ever have. So
That's right. Our almonds, Almond Co. have very fresh almond products, and they've got a whole range of almonds there as well, from hot and spicy to smoked to plain and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So, yeah, we're pretty spoiled with food in the region. But yeah, the Tawny is always great with a little fruit and cheese platter
oh,
at
it
the end
is.
of a meal.
It yeah. So I want to say thanks heaps for coming on the show.
That's all right.
It was
Pleasure.
it was my pleasure coming here, being fed some amazing food, trying some amazing wines, getting a history and educational lesson at the same time.
Yes.
Absolute pleasure of ours, and the Riverland has got many a secret that we're telling.
Yes.
That's the whole reason we're
That's
here, is
right.
to tell
Yeah,
the world.
yeah. And that's the good thing about your film group, in that you can show people what is really out in the regions.
Yeah.
And talk to the people who are involved in producing the different products or doing the different things, or involved in different tourism aspects or whatever. And people find that really interesting.
Someone extremely smart, a lot smarter than me, told me that there's a lot more that goes into the bottle
Yes.
than fruit.
Yes.
It's the people, it's the hard work, it's the
Yeah, the
vineyard,
passion, the
it's
passion,
the passion.
I guess.
And that's
Yeah.
what our show's about, is bringing that out.
Yeah.
And you've been an exceptional guest. And Jenny, even though she didn't want to come on, has done a great job.
Yeah.
She has done a great job with her food pairings and the brisket. Oh,
Yeah. We'll
my
have to
God.
have that. We'll have to meet again.
We'll have to meet again for croissants and brisket, I think. So stay tuned, 8 o'clock next Wednesday night, Facebook, for another Riverland show. And we've got something very, very special indeed. I don't think it can get any better.
No, someone's got to do it.
You know
Nathan.
what it is, though? It's just varying levels of good.
Yes, that's
We
right.
say that about McLaren Vale. I'm going to bring that to the Riverland as well.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
varying different levels of good.
That's right.
And we're lucky to be South Australian.
We are, absolutely. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Good on you. Yeah.